You can't eat that. Are you trying to kill yourself? Are you a drug addict? These are some of the questions I've been asked throughout my journey. Misconceptions and misunderstandings are one of the biggest issues in our everyday lives. The word diabetes is one that is very misunderstood due to lack of education. Diabetes, it's a word heard quite often, but what is it? What does it mean? And one of the biggest questions is, does someone who consumes excess amounts of sugar get diabetes? Diabetes is an autoimmune disease that destroys your pancreas by having your own body attack itself. When this happens, the affected person is left dead and can no longer produce beta and alpha cells that secrete insulin and glucagon to control your blood sugar. I myself was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 9 years ago at the age of 10. It was a very big moment that changed my life for sure. Someone who's diagnosed with type 1 diabetes can no longer make their own insulin, therefore, they have to inject it themselves. There are two different methods that a diabetic can go along with to give themselves their insulin. The first and most popular way is insulin pump therapy. It allows a diabetic to get their insulin continuously without taking a shot every time they need some. Instead, you have a device that you program that gives you the amount that you need, and it's delivered through a cannula under your skin, and it looks just like a patch, and you change it every 2 to 3 days instead of having to take multiple shots every time you need to take insulin. The second method, which I kind of just talked about briefly, was the shot method. And shots are not the most fun at all, but they do allow for more freedom. If you don't want as many devices on your body, it's one less thing that you have to wear. Um, Unfortunately, though, with shots, you will do an average person does between 6 to 10 a day, and that is a lot of needle pricks to do on your body every single day. And you can't slack off. You have to be right on key every time because one little mishap can hurt you. Um, with shots, you can use an insulin pen, which is a preloaded pen, or you can use a syringe, which you will pull from a vial and then insert into your body from there. I myself have done both shots and insulin pump. I prefer the insulin pump just because I'm lazy and I don't like having to give myself shots all the time, and I would slack off pretty badly. But I did like not having to wear an extra device on my body. So there's pros and cons of each. The consumption of sugar does not give you diabetes. Diabetes is completely autoimmune, which means you cannot get it from consuming too much sugar. Though the misconceptions of diabetes aren't usually brought to attention, it's important to know that diabetes is not just something that you can catch or eat your way to. It requires extremely careful and precise monitoring. The slightest things can affect your blood sugar, can affect how much insulin you're going to need. As simple as drinking an energy drink some days for me will spike my blood sugar, and then I'm constantly trying to correct and chase my blood sugar for the next hour to day. Diabetes is not a disease you just get from eating. Because it is completely immune related, you can't do anything about it. I hope after listening, you kind of get an idea of what type 1 diabetes is and don't fall for the many misconceptions that are spread. Thank you.